You're all set, Chairperson.
All right, thank you, Recording Secretary. This meeting is taking place entirely by teleconference via Zoom. The public is accessing the meeting via the Santa Ana YouTube channel or the city's website. The commission members and I, along with the recording secretary and city staff, are in different locations. Please bear with us as the technology may disrupt the flow of the meeting. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the September 7th, 2022 Youth Commission regular meeting to order at 4:32 p.m. Will the recording secretary please call roll?
Thank you, Chairperson. Commissioner Cabrera,
Present.
Commissioner Nguyen,
Present.
Commissioner Sarmiento,
Present.
Commissioner Tucker, Commissioner Weezer,
Present.
Commissioner Verding.
Present.
You have a quorum, Chairperson.
All right, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next on the agenda is presentations. I'll turn this over to Recording Secretary Sandoval.
Thank you, Chairperson. Today we have the distinct pleasure of having America on Track join us. They will be giving us a brief presentation on their America on Track Emerging Leaders Program. I would like to turn this over now to Diana Delgado.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. We'll go ahead and share our slides. And are they visible? Yes, okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Daisy Delgado, and I am the site coordinator for our Emerging Leaders Program. And here we also have Claire Brayburn, the executive director and co-founder of America on Track.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for inviting us to present. I'm really excited to share with you. For those of you who don't know who America on Track is, we'll give a little bit of information about America on Track, and then give a lot of information about our Emerging Leaders for Civic Engagement program in case you or people you know in the community would be interested in it. Next slide. So we'll be talking about our Emerging Leaders for Civic Engagement program, and it's all about building future leaders through comprehensive training. Of course, you are all on that path already with your leadership roles, but we can never have too many leadership opportunities. And as I said, with your role, there are limited spots. With this, there are a few more. So if you know others who would also like to gain valuable leadership experience, this is something you could share with them. A little bit of back history about America on Track. We've been around since 1995. Terry Thompson and I started the company in 95, and we are as passionate today as we were 27 years ago when we started. And really our passion is to work with young people, with families and communities to provide impactful services. And our philosophy is to provide service with passion. So if you're going to do something, do it with excitement, with passion, and do it with integrity. And that's led to many awards over the years, one in particular with President Bill Clinton back in 1998 for the Presidential Service Award for our work with young people. And our mission is to inspire brighter futures by building youth leaders, supporting families, and strengthening the communities. And we really focus on social inequities and health disparities. Everything we do is evidence-based. So we are making sure that what we intend to happen is going to happen. And the young people we work with have an opportunity to work with community leaders and with our board members. This is one particular event where it's our fundraiser to sustain our Emerging Leaders program. We have a number of programs and they're all multifaceted. We have, of course, our leadership development that we're here to share with you today. We have mentoring programs. We focus on academic achievement. We have fitness and nutrition programs and tobacco and vape and drug use prevention programs. And everything we do is science-based evaluated. And we've actually worked with one of the best science-based evaluation firms in the country for the last 25 years. So as I said, we plan it and expect that based on research that what we intend to happen will happen, but we evaluate, make sure that it is. And if it's not happening the way we expect it to, we go back to the drawing board and we always revise and improve our programs year after year. And those are some of our fabulous staff members there in the picture. And again, as I mentioned, this program, the Emerging Leaders for Civic Engagement, is about building future leaders, and we provide dynamic leadership training to high school students as well as elementary school students in a group setting. And I'll turn it over to Dee Dee now, and she can share the details of the program with you.
Yes, thank you. So as we mentioned, it is a leadership program. So some of the many ways that we try to improve our future leaders is by inspiring today's youth to become tomorrow's leaders through a focus on public speaking, leadership training, civic engagement, environmental issues, character development, STEM opportunities, tobacco and vape use prevention, fitness and nutrition, exposure to the classical music and the arts. So our main focuses, of course, are to improve public speaking for many of our teen leaders, especially because if you want to become a teen leader, you need those public speaking skills as well as that leadership. So for many of you guys as well, I'm pretty sure you guys have already started gaining these public speaking skills and leadership, as well as civic engagement, such as community involvement. We're really big on our environment as well. And then character development, STEM, tobacco and vape, fitness and nutrition, and classical music and the arts are other things that we focus on throughout our program. So aside from what I just mentioned, we also have many opportunities and things that we develop throughout the program. So one of those things are scholarships. So the way these scholarships work is that the students that are in our program are able to gain scholarships for college, which is something that is really beneficial to many students. I'll go over that in just a second. Other things that we do are life skills training. So this is a curriculum where we have ongoing lessons for the students where we cover topics such as self-esteem, public speaking, as well as assertiveness and many other importances throughout that curriculum, which helps you guys build these life skills opportunities. Sorry. And then aside from that, nutrition, STEM, and music as well. And then at the very bottom, it says, I feel good today because, and this is an opportunity where we provide the teenagers as well as the elementary students to have a present, to tell us why they feel good. It's important that you guys also celebrate the positive things that are going on in your life. We want these students to build good characteristics as well as feel good for what you guys are doing as well. And then we are also really, really big on civic engagement. As you guys could see here, we have Greta Thunberg, we have students at the very bottom planting trees, and then we also have students on the right, or teens on the right. What's the word? I'm so sorry. Advocating as well as protesting. So sorry. So civic engagement overall, we like to really focus on that. So we plan on having many opportunities throughout the city as well as the Orange County to provide civic engagement opportunities for students like you. And then back to our scholarships. So we do have scholarship opportunities for all the teenagers that are in grades 9 through 12. So many of our kids, if they're in our program since they are freshmen in high school, all the way through 12th grade, they're able to get many scholarships. So the minimum it runs through is $250 up to like $1,300, $1,500 that are accumulated every year. So for many kids, if they're with us since they are freshmen all the way up until their senior year, they're then able to graduate and gain about $4,000, $5,000 plus for college, which is something that is really beneficial, especially because we all know that college is really, really expensive. So this is like free money to you guys. And then here we have a few photos about our Emerging Leaders program. So on the very left, you guys are able to see that we had some scientists come to our program. So the students were able to learn about these scientists, how they got in that career path. They were also able to have some experiments with the kids, which was something that is really cool because these scientists wanted to actually join our program and come work with the kids. On the right, we have Terry giving some scholarships. Then on the very bottom, we have our elementary students. We like to have lots of fun. So they're able to have some pillow pets, little stuffed animals. And then on the very right, all of our teens and elementary students that join our program ends up getting a certificate of completion, which is beneficial when it comes to adding it to your resumes and things like that for college too. And then here we have many more photos. On the very left, you guys are able to see a little boy. He was actually in our program since he was an elementary student. And now he is, I believe, a sophomore or junior. So he really liked the program. So being in this program since he was in 4th grade, now up until high school, he wanted to become a team leader. So he's one of our great examples that actually really enjoyed our programming and what we do. On the very right, you're able to see more teenagers with their scholarships. And then on the bottom left, these are some teenagers that were able to participate at our wine event fundraiser that we have. So again, there's many opportunities that these kids are able to join within our organization. And then again, as I've mentioned before, we like to strongly practice public speaking. These students that are in our program do not get graded for public speaking. This is an opportunity for you guys to practice your public speaking skills. So again, we know it's important when you guys are in high school to speak to everyone as well as in college with all these presentations. So again, we like to practice public speaking. On the very left, you're able to see some of our many teenagers as well as our youth that were able to pass an ordinance at City Hall. So again, there's many opportunities outside of the program that you're able to gain these skills and connections with us.
And Didi, I'm just going to interrupt you there. Yep. And the key with that is, as a young person, it took this particular picture is from City Hall in Buena Park, but we had a repeat performance 6 months later in Santa Ana. As a result of the success we had in Buena Park, and as a result of great leadership in Santa Ana, but we couldn't have done it without the young people getting involved and getting the confidence to go in front of their elected officials and say, this is what I want for my city. I want to protect young people from flavored tobacco. So in this particular instance, in the more recent Santa Ana success, it was all revolving around eliminating the sale of flavored tobacco to protect young people, because we know the tobacco companies are predatory and they're trying to get each one of you and all of your friends and younger siblings and cousins to get addicted to nicotine through flavored tobacco. So it was a joint event and joint venture in terms of young people speaking up, getting a lot of media attention, which is fun. Like, that's really cool. And they got to speak and putting on their resume that they were part of getting a law passed for their city. So few people can say that. And that's a huge accomplishment. I wasn't doing that at 14, 15, 16, or 17 years old. So those are some of the reasons why we really focus on public speaking. It may not be, your passion may not be tobacco prevention, but you do have passions about whatever it is. And those skills of learning how to speak to people and let people know how you feel about whatever the social injustice that you see that you want changed. We all have to speak up and find our voice and know that our voices matter. And so the public speaking is really important, because these people, these young people and adults who took the time, are changing a lot of people's lives for the better.
Yes, yes. Aside from all the educational components that we also provide at America on Track, we also like to have fun. You guys are able to gain fun activities while learning as well. So as you guys could see here on the slides on the very left, this was actually a STEM lesson that we had with the kids. And I know you guys are seeing balloons and everything, but trust me, everything that we do is fun, and we tie it in with the educational lessons so that it's something that you guys are able to gain some interest in. On the very right, you guys are able to see a teen leader as well as an elementary student doing a science experiment. And we also have lots of love and passion for reading. So we do provide free books to everyone as well. And then here are a few quotes that we like to have throughout our program, which is, some of them say, while most are dreaming of success, winners wake up and work hard to achieve it. So again, if you guys have all these goals in mind, you guys need to make those steps and start making those goals, even if it's something little by little each day that you wake up. We want you guys to get there eventually. On the very right, it says turn knowledge into action. And at the very bottom, it says commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. So again, our program does take lots of commitment. Many of our teens that join this program love it, but they know how important it is to stay committed to our program, especially because we work with elementary students, and these elementary students rely on the teens and us to be there for them as well. So it's really fun, but it is a lot of commitment.
And to talk about the commitment, the way the program works is it starts in the first week in October, and it's a weekly commitment after school on Thursday afternoons in Santa Ana. We have a program in Irvine, so if Thursdays don't work and you wanted to commute to our Irvine program, that would be fine as well. But in Santa Ana, it's Thursday afternoons. We're there as soon as school gets out, and we go till 6:30. The teens are asked to be there no later than 4 o'clock, because we know with high school schedules, it's a little different. So for the teens, it's from 4 o'clock to 6:30 every Thursday that Santa Ana Unified School District is in session. So obviously we take Thanksgiving off and we take the winter holiday and the spring break. But in general, from the first week of October through the end of May, it's every Thursday afternoon for 2.5 hours. And again, it's a commitment, but it's also something where you're really gaining. You're receiving free leadership training, experience in public speaking, opportunities to make a difference, not only in your own life, but in an elementary student's life and in your community, to show adults in your community that, hey, young people have important voices and can really contribute to the community.
So again, as Claire mentioned, it is just once a week that the teens are able to join. Tuesdays, Irvine, Thursdays, Santa Ana. Again, 4 p.m. until 6:30. And overall, it is a program that is really beneficial to many of you students that are in high school. Many of our kids really enjoy it and come back every year. So I strongly encourage you guys to take a chance and look into our program and join us. Here we have our kids in our playground at the very end of the year. We also like to have lots of fun. We usually get jumpers, water balloons, things like that. So we like to have lots of fun with the kids as well. So here again, we have our teens and our elementary students too. And this concludes our presentation. What I can do is we do have a flyer. I have sent it to someone here as well, which was William. I'm not sure if he would like to send it out to you guys, or I could also provide it in the chat. But hopefully if you guys have any questions or are interested, feel free to spread the word to other teens as well. We're more than happy to have you guys join our program. It's really, really beneficial and lots of fun too. So hopefully you guys are interested.
Any questions?
Thank you so much, Claire and Dee Dee, for the excellent presentation. Definitely, if you want to email me that, just email it to me and I will go ahead and make that available to our Youth Commission. At this point in time, Chairperson Verdine, the floor is yours for any questions that you may entertain from the rest of the commissioners.
I personally have no questions, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for this presentation. It was very informative, and we'll be sure to spread the word about this amazing program. And I'm really happy to see like all of the work that you guys have done. I actually have heard of that tobacco flavoring ordinance, and I'm really happy it got passed. So thank you for all the work, and thank you for presenting to us today. I'll leave the floor open to any other commissioners who may have any questions, concerns, comments, etc.
Yeah, I would like to say that I'm totally supportive of the mission America on Track is pursuing. I think recently in the news, the Juul company had reached a lawsuit where they had to pay millions of dollars for targeting the youth. So we appreciate all the work you're doing. I guess my question would be like, since so much is like focused on these foundational skills that translate into like many other dimensions, are there any like specific examples or like team building activities that can help get a sense of idea like how you guys manage all those people and how progression is done over this program?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely builds. So we have a curriculum that builds for 30 weeks. And in the beginning, we're doing a lot of get to know you activities so that the teens and the elementary students get to know each other and see, really learning from each other. And we do it in a small group setting. So we have a handful of teens with a handful of elementary students, and then, small groups within the larger group. And we assign leadership roles to a teen and to an elementary student in there. And then every 5 to 6 weeks, we rotate and have a new person having an opportunity, and also rotate so you're getting to know more elementary and other teens as well. And the key is really the activities in terms of the I feel good in the morning, in the beginning of the session, is to get young people comfortable with speaking up. We know that all of you have great ideas and you have brilliant minds, and not everyone always has the confidence to speak up and share their thoughts. And that's really the foundation of growing as a team and learning from each other and knowing that it's okay. And there's no grade associated with it. So that reduces the fear level, because when you're at school and you have a grade and it's going to impact your GPA, that makes a difference. So it's that camaraderie and learning from people of different cultures and with different interests, whether it's, we have people that are interested in music, sharing with others who are super passionate about science, and seeing that, okay, we have different interests, but we're all pretty similar. So we do fun science experiments or fun interactive activities where it's very student engagement oriented, where the young people, both the teens and the elementary students, are sharing their perspectives, sharing with each other and learning from each other to build that camaraderie. So by the end of the year, we see so much growth, and the students sincerely really like each other. And as Dee Dee said, we have many elementary students who have come back to become team leaders, despite the big commitment. It is a big time commitment, 2.5 hours a week for the entire school year.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Any other commissioners with any comments or questions? Sorry. All right, then with that being said, thank you so much, America on Track, Claire, Dee Dee. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is the time for public comments. Recording secretary, does anyone wish to speak?
Thank you, Chairperson Verdeen. At this point in time, we do not have any public comments.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar. Item 1 and number 2 are the minutes of the regular meeting of July 6th and excused absences. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes and excused absences?
I'll start the motion.
I second.
Does that need a roll call?
Yes, Chairperson.
All right.
Commissioner Cabrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Nguyen,
Yes.
Commissioner Sarmiento,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiser,
Yes.
Commissioner Verdeen.
Yes.
Duly noted.
Okay, that's the end of the consent calendar. Moving on to the business calendar, today we have one item listed on the agenda. I will turn this over to Recording Secretary Sandoval for item 3, which is the main library transformation project.
Thank you, Chairperson. Today we have the distinct pleasure of a presentation from the Santa Ana Library. I am going to go ahead and turn this over to Library Services Director Brian Sternberg.
All right, good almost evening, everybody. Thank you for having us at the commission meeting today. I'm excited to give you all an update here on our main library renovation. I know I've talked a little bit about this in previous meetings, but this is the first time you're going to be able to see and experience some of the spaces that we are developing as we reimagine the Santa Ana Public Library, and also reimagine it in terms of how we can make it more inclusive, make it more equitable, and make it more friendly to not just teens, but everybody in our community. So with that, a brief introduction, I'd like to pass it off to David Schnee. He's here from Group 4 Architects from South San Francisco, and he's going to walk you all through a presentation about the types of spaces and experiences you might be seeing in our newly transformed and renovated Central Library here in Santa Ana. So with that, take it away, David.
Great. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, Chair Verdeen and esteemed commissioners. It's a real honor to be before you, and your input and participation at this early phase of the project is vital to the project's success. So we have a brief slideshow, and Recording Secretary Sandoval, if you will advance the slides for me here. So just a little bit about my firm. So my name is David Schnee. I'm the principal in charge of Group 4 Architecture Research and Planning, and we have a national practice with a real big focus on public libraries, with over 100 library projects done to date, and over half of them in historic projects such as your mid-century library. Next slide, please. So Brian talked about how this would be an inclusive, equitable project. It's also going to be a sustainable project. And one of the most important things with a sustainable project and the most sustainable building is one that reuses an existing building. Where a project of this age, 60 plus years, often people say, well, maybe we can take it down, or it doesn't reflect everything that we want for the future. And so we're going to renovate, honor the past, and we're going to celebrate the present and the future all at the same time. And so we're going to give you a little tour of where the design is heading. We're going to give you sort of an outside-in perspective here. So this library, mid-century modern, has actually beautiful spaces with those two-story windows facing the street, and we're going to do a whole series of site improvements, such as creating a new east garden, improved surface parking right to the south of the library, increase the connections between the library and the Civic Center campus that's there, improve landscaping, accessibility, and a whole bunch of other features. Next slide, please. So going on to the interior here, so we're going to be moving various features of the building around. So the teen spaces that are presently in the basement and are wonderful, we're going to bring up to the top sort of area now where the meeting rooms are. Those meeting rooms are going to come down to the ground floor, and to the left of that, where that teal rectangle hits the exterior windows, we're going to have a big prominent window where you can sort of look out and see what's going on inside the library and attract other youth to come up into it. And we're going to totally redo the seating and the technology and the collections in the library. History will be moved upstairs. Next slide, please. So we're going to walk you through the floor plans from the second floor down to the first. So here on the second floor on the right side, on the east side of the building, where the community meeting rooms are, is going to be the new and improved young adult area. So, and we'll show you some inspirational images of that as well. So in addition to having a great flexible space that you can call your own and do a lot with, we'll also have a variety of enclosed and semi-open study areas. And the neat spaces, the library in the past has been one where you just go and get creative content from other people. And nowadays the library is one where it helps facilitate creative content from community members. And we find our young adults to be some of the most creative members in library communities. And so we have a space called the Maker Space, which will have a series of rooms that will work for media that might include video recording and sound sound recording and editing features as well, and a variety of tools. And we'll show you some pictures for that. We'll also be creating something that doesn't really exist in the library in a meaningful way, which are these tan areas, which are other study rooms that people can have small meetings in, that you can go get tutoring, and folks of all ages can come and get a place to do work. We also have new elevators coming into the building to help connect people and make it more universally accessible and inclusive. So of course, the library of the past would have been in a place, and I don't know when the first time you were brought to the library and you've asked people, well, the library is just a quiet place. Well, already you know the children's learning and play space in the back is anything but what you would experience at an old-fashioned library, and it just shows how the Santa Ana Library is really trying to create a destination for families and folks of all ages, and realize that there are a lot of different ways of learning, and you want to have family groups come of all ages to enjoy the library. And so we're going to take this inspiration from the outside, and we're looking to bring that to the inside. Next slide, please. So one of our team members here is Lucy Creative, an exhibition and interactive design firm out of Chicago. And we're going to create some really, as amazing as the exterior play structure is, we're going to have similar types of learning through creativity, learning through constructive, learning through imagination opportunities for children and their adult caregivers here. And so we're going to have all sorts of types of things similar to what you see here, that will be not just experiencing books, but places to sit and manipulate, and interactive features. Next slide, please. And so these are other examples of what those can be. And with vibrant colors, we just had a wonderful meeting with library staff today, where some of the ideas and about creating places of dreamscapes and imagination to really have people. That's a wonderful thing about coming to the library, is you get to, it's a portal to the rest of the world and your own imagination. And so there'll be opportunities for children, and you come with your younger siblings and caregivers and adults to come and be drawn into this very progressive library. Next slide, please. So here's an illustration, as promised, of what a makerspace may be. So we have flexible work tables on wheels. There might be a variety of different types of technology, like acetate printers or laser printers and tools, and power that comes from the ceiling. And it's all very flexible, where you can make a variety of different expressions, cultural, technical. We are talking about STEAM and STREAM, so science, technology, reading, engineering, and math, arts and math. So it's catching all of those aspects of it, and trying to create ways that you see these glass walls between the young adult teen section and the makerspace. We are just today talking about having a lot of glass between those, but also having curtains. So if you're doing gaming or other things in the teen area, that you can have some more privacy if you want. Next slide, please. So these are a couple of little videos to show the types of examples of different things that are going on. And Mr. Sandoval, if you could press play on that, or maybe they won't play. Well, we can just see if there's an embedded video, see if it works. It should be just a 30-second clip. Okay, well, I can just describe to you. So in libraries here, it's a variety of different it's just a flexible space, similar to that image we showed before, but being animated. And it's not just for youth to do the tradition or emerging new stream aspects, but there are also pictures in this video clip of seniors doing arts and crafts projects and the rest, and that we really are looking to create encourage and facilitate creation by all folks. And so then the next space shows a lot of the creation is in terms of digital aspects, having place for spoken word, poetry slams, being able to do video recordings here, and of course being able to edit those. So it's one thing to use, just be able to do this work, but being able to package it and post it online for your own social media or school projects, and very popular here with library tools and support. Next slide. And so this gives you a sense, when I said there were different sort of open and enclosed areas in the youth space. This is one just down in Orange County in Yorba Linda, a recently completed library and cultural arts center in the teen space there with the big windows where you can look out over people coming and going, but you have these booths with technology and flexible furniture, and the big open spaces just to the left. And next slide, please. And so, and then shows to the right of this here is an opportunity to have, you guys are super hardworking, whether you're going to be in the program of the last program or having your meetings and stuff, and you guys have a lot of pressure on you. So sometimes that's to really buckle down and be quiet as well as active spaces. So having an enclosed area of your own or some of the other group study rooms are part of that. And there's opportunities over the next year or more the library may have to sort of brand the space. So you guys have been in the library cave, or I don't know what, maybe you'll be a loft too on the second floor, or whatever you might see. Teenopolis was another one in the San Jose area where the teens renamed their space. Next slide, please. So these projects are, I liked in the last presentation that we saw that the multi-year commitments, design and construction projects, especially in the public sector, take many years. So we're in 2022. We're right now just in the concept. The first 20% of the projects is called conceptual design and schematic design, and we'll be finishing that later in October and getting review comments from the city. And then we take it to the next stage, design development, and then we create the drawings for construction documents, and then begins construction, which will continue through 2024 and into 2025. We're going to be right now we're in the process of doing cost estimate to see with all the different things that must be done in terms of improving the infrastructure of the building, all the things that we really want to do and should do, and then some of the extra sweet things that we could do. So we've got a lot of ideas here, and we're shooting high, and we're going to find the right balance as we get the cost estimate that fits within the budget. And your city and city library services have just applied for a major grant from the state of California. So it's not just local taxpayer money, but trying to leverage that funds. And so we've got our fingers crossed that that will help and give a major contribution and let a lot of these, great amount of these dreams come true. So next slide. And so we open it back to you, Chair Verdeen, to see if there's any questions, comments, and we're happy to, the Group 4 team. And I forgot to give a quick shout out to Jay and Anna, who are on the call, two of our very talented designers here as well.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Schnee, for this presentation. I did hear a little bit about the new, project that we're gonna, restore the library. I forgot the exact word. But I love this. I love the library so much. I love going there. So it makes me really happy that there's going to be like so many new spaces and maker spaces. Like I feel like there's so much opportunity with that, especially how many kids at home don't have that space at home. So this is really great. I just wanted to ask, outside of this meeting, what have you guys been doing to get, I guess, input from the community, based on what we need for the library and what resources we're going to have available coming into the future, especially for this restoration project?
That's an excellent question. And so, as I said, we really appreciate your input, and you're part of the whole input process here. So we were just at the PRSCA meeting last week, and we'll be going to the ComLink community meeting in, I think, about 10 days or so. And so that will be an in-person meeting. We're looking forward to that. We're meeting with library staff, and we have an online survey. I don't know if you saw that as well. And Anna, if you're there and able to get on mute, how many responses did we get to the survey now? Oops, you went on mute again, sorry. Oops, or Jay, maybe do you have the approximate count where we're at now?
Sorry, my computer kept muting me. We have almost 300, I believe. I think somewhere in, yeah.
And can you summarize, I don't know if you have it quickly, sorry if I'm catching off guard here, some of the highlights that Chair Verdeen was asking, what are we hearing from the community? Because in general, the themes of inclusivity and equity and being a very progressive library are the themes that I'm pulling out of it. And I don't know if you could have access to sort of like the top 3 things that were mentioned in the survey.
I can open up a slide in a minute. Yes.
Okay, so we'll come back to you, Chair Verdeen, on that.
Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions or comments on the library restoration project?
I don't have any questions. I have a comment. My computer kept like freezing up, but I saw like the layout of what you guys like wanted to do. And I like how the teens and the kids have a separate section from the adults. It like gives them like a separate break from other people, and the study rooms. It gives them a way, like a separate place to be able to focus on their studies, which I think is like a big part of like stuff that the youth needs to be to benefit from school.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, something that we really looked at, because right now we really don't have very many quiet study spaces. In fact, we really have none. So one of the opportunities that we really, are seizing upon with this, transformation, restoration, renovation, is to provide opportunities, and then, not only just have teen spaces and maker spaces connected to teen spaces, but have special study rooms for teens in those spaces when they need those quiet areas and, need to take a break or need to get some, work done for school, that those are available as well. So we're really glad to be able to, include those and offer that to you all in the community.
Any other questions? Or comments? Sorry.
And I would just add that one of our structural engineers is from Santa Ana, and actually grew up going to this library, worked briefly here before becoming an engineer. So I know when we meet with our youth commissions and things, sometimes they say, okay, well, I'm not going to be still a youth commissioner by the time this opens up. Well, hopefully this will be a lifelong connection you have to your home library.
For sure. Thank you so much for this presentation. It was very informative, and I'm really happy. Like, I'm really excited to see like all of these new additions to our library being implemented in 2024, but still we'll come back. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for having us.
So this is for Mr. Sternberg, but I was actually wondering how do you guys plan the bookmobile the knowledge mobile visits to like different schools and all that?
So what we did is we worked with Santa Ana Unified, and we also looked at, of course, a map of the entire city, and we wanted to be equitable about how we plotted those out, and also working with Santa Ana Unified, where we felt with them and working in conjunction with them, where most of the need was. Now, of course, we're also open to, we do lots of stops and visits that are one-offs, like if a certain school or a certain community organization or whoever may request it, we definitely work those into our schedule. We attend special events. So it's a combination of working directly with the school district, and also getting that community feedback and getting information about how our sites are used. We go to parks, and if we find, we generally will rotate out sites every few months. So if we find that a certain park really may not be, giving us the best return on investment in terms of, attendance, we'll do everything we can to try to promote and bring people in to those stops. But it's rotating too. So if you feel like, oh, hey, this school might be missing, out right now, we're working our way definitely around the city. And we are in the works for a second larger bookmobile that will really help fill in some of those gaps. So hopefully does that answer your question? Okay.
Oops, sorry, I was on mute. Would you mind if I contact you an email about who specifically to contact for specific visits?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Send me an email.
Appreciate it. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Is there anything else for this item, Recording Secretary?
That is it, Chairperson Redin. At this point in time, you're up to commissioner comments.
All right. Next on the agenda are commissioner comments. This is a time for each commissioner to provide comments if you wish, but it's not required. We will start with Commissioner Wynn of Ward 1.
I like the new changes and suggestions. I like how the new innovation in the library and how we're having more community input and it's being more utilized as a resource that reaches out to the community. So that's all I have to say, and thanks for putting it all together.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Cabrera.
I would just like to say thank you for putting the money into the library, because it is a place where a lot of students go to get out of their house because of the same reason that it's not quiet in their own house, and they go and do their homework, which I'm really thankful that we have this resource. And I can't wait to go and see the new and renovated library. Thank
That
you.
was the word I was looking for, renovation. Okay, thank you, Commissioner Cabrera. Commissioner Sarmiento.
No specific comment except thank you for putting on that fantastic presentation and providing necessary information to see where this will go. And I'm looking forward to see how the Youth Commission can help you kind of fundraise and just provide outreach. So thank you.
Okay, Vice Chair Weezar.
I just want to say I like the layout of the layout of the library, because it gives the teens a separate space, away from the adults. It gives them their own separate area, which I think is beneficial to the mental health of the youth in Santa Ana. And give them a place where they can go outside of the house, the maker studio place, the study rooms, the young adult section. That's all going to be beneficial to the transition of being always with an adult to being separated, doing your own thing. It's all beneficial for the youth. So I like that.
Okay. As for my comments, I know I've already said this, but again, thank you so much for the presentation. Even though all of this is far in the future, we are very honored to be included in the planning for this. And we're looking forward to seeing any sort of way that we can collaborate on this program. And you guys had all the surveys and all that, so we'll be sure to keep an eye out for all of that information. So thank you so much. With that being said, I believe that is the conclusion of the meeting. The next meeting will take place Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. Meeting adjourned at 5:19 p.m. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.